Minster House, Blandford, August 1918. From Iwerne and Sutton, we send you all good wishes, and may 1918 see you all back at home again. As the 24th of May, Empire Day, the date of this letter, comes while school children have a week's holiday, we are putting off our Empire Day celebrations until school starts again. Empire Day has become a living force, and it helps us all here to realize how the whole empire is fighting for freedom in the future and the final downfall of militarism. Now, I am sure that not one of you will think I am becoming a schoolmaster if I give you a little lecture. I know it is often extremely difficult for you to write home. You know that all of you are in our thoughts, and when a mother, a wife, or a friend does not receive a letter for some weeks, it makes them feel anxious, and they wonder if possibly some unpleasant thing may have happened to you. I know none of you will mind my putting this point to you. I had an interesting day on the 6th when I went down to Mudford, not far from Yeovil, to see a milking competition. There were about 130 competitors. Mr. Holloway motored me down and also took Mr. Charles Trowbridge, Mr. Spencer, who has taken the Vale Farm, and Mr. Cox. All these acted as judges. It was a perfect day. Mr. Holloway is a little erratic in taking his corners, but we got to Mudford and back without any accident. I hope to get these milking competitions started in Dorset. Such competitions help to make country life more attractive. I don't think I ever told you that I am one of the members of the Dorset Agricultural Wage Board, nominated by the Board of Agriculture, that takes me down to Dorchester very often. On Monday the 17th, we started a cheese-making class at the dairy. It's run by the County Council. The class is not allowed to number more than 12 and consists of Grace Bartlett, Flossie Crabb, Hugh Holloway, Maud Sprackland, Mrs. Mullet, and 4 from outside the village. The demonstrator is a County Council official and most efficient. It is somewhat difficult to write this 3-weekly letter, for you at the different fronts are making history and giving us, at home, all the splendid news. In France, Mesopotamia, Palestine, and Italy, we read in the papers of what you are doing to get rid of the Hun brutes, as Mr. Balfour has so correctly named them. On Monday the 15th, Salisbury Sheep Fair took place. Sprackland and all of us thought we should bring back the cup to Iwerne for the best pen of ram lambs. But the quality of the ram lambs shown was so good that we had to be content with the second prize. The first went to Mr. Williams, who's got best as his shepherd. Mrs. Rouse Boughton and I went to the lunch given by the mayor at the town hall. I found that I had to make a speech. I expect you have seen in the papers long accounts of people waiting for hours to buy food at the shops. Well, this has not been the case in Iwerne and Sutton, for I do not think, with the exception of butter, which is scarce, that anyone has had to go short. The trouble in the towns is probably due to the difficulty of distribution, but this is being rapidly overcome. The Germans would like you at the front to believe that there is a shortage of food in Great Britain, but I can honestly assure you that if people have had to suffer a certain inconvenience in the past, that will soon be done away with. Naturally, we shall not have as much as we had before the war, and the bread is not as white. Still, that is nothing compared with the want sustained by the Germans for the last 2 years. We at home, and I am not speaking for myself only, feel that if we can help our allies by sending some of our food to them, then we are doing our small bit. We should be proud that we can do something. Lord Stallbridge is selling a good deal of his land, including the towns of Shaftesbury and Stallbridge. This is owing to the high death duties, taxation, etc. The dry cows and heifers are doing well on the ensilage. We are producing more milk from the home farm this year than we have ever done. Mr. Anderson Graham, the editor of Country Life, came here this week to write an article on farming in wartime. I hope to send you each a copy of the paper. Iwerne has really got a good name for doing its best in the war. We've certainly done so in the number of those who are now at the front, and I must say that those at home are working their best. You will be glad to know that Frank Whittle, who was my dairyman, is now a sergeant and has been awarded the DCM. On Sunday the 4th, both Keeper Bill Green, now in the Marines, and Keeper Jimmy Smith were at Iwerne. Green told me that the life in the army was good, and when I asked him how he liked physical drill, he promptly, and in a very military fashion, showed me he could touch his toes. Jimmy Smith, who has quite recovered from his last wound, is now an instructor in signalling. As one of the Iwerne Boy Scouts, he always was keen at dots and dashes, flag wagging. He also told me that his father and mother, whom you will remember at Iwerne, are both fit and well. I sent my younger brother, who for some time was in France in the Lancers and is now at a remount depot, a copy of the Breeder's Bloodstock magazine, which contained a long account of the progeny of Craganor. You will remember my brother won the Derby with Craganor, but the horse was disqualified on account of bumping. It was the Derby when the suffragettes created trouble, and one poor girl was killed when she tried to stop the race by running onto the course and was trampled on by the horses. Keeper Green joined up on the 13th. I could have possibly got him exempted if he would have let me appeal, but he said he would rather I did not. Hemery, my butler, is also called up. Leslie Cool, who helps his father in the cow stalls, and whom I would have got off if I had appealed, for he is doing absolutely war work, would not let me appeal. Trowbridge has gone into the RN division. His joining up has made a considerable difference to me, for he knew all the details of the estate. Burstow, the new clerk, invalided out of the service, is doing his best to get in touch with things as soon as he can. Tom Windsor and Amy Wareham were married on Wednesday, July the 10th. He has set a good example to you all, and I hope on the successful termination of the war we shall have many happy marriages in the village. Fred was best man. It was lucky that he was home on leave. I had to go up to London on Tuesday and so could not be at the wedding, but Mrs. Rouse Bowden went. On Friday the 15th we had another cinema exhibition. Amongst the films shown was an excellent one of the work done by the RAMC in France. The scenes we saw appealed strongly to everyone. My only trouble with the cinema is the lack of seating room. A good many people had to be turned away. You can all rest content about your people at home. They are fit and well. There is no sickness in the village. All we want is to see you back once more. But I am sure none of you will want to return until you have won many long years of peace and destroyed all hope of a German military power running the world. There are now over 40 German prisoners of war working on the land here and helping to replant at Iwerne. It is very strange to feel that some of those who are working for me have got British prisoners of war on their farms in Germany. Our collection for our prisoners of war in enemy hands is going ahead well. Charlie Brooks made an excellent and most persuasive collector. I took him into Dorchester on the 28th to be measured for a temporary leg. That is the wish not only of you who are abroad, but of your people at home. Still, when that time does come, every one of you will be only too thankful that he is able to play his part freeing the world from any fear of Prussian militarism. Life would not be worth living for the children or their children if such a force was in power. Another long letter was from Albert Locke, who wishes me to tell everyone that he is in the pink. I suppose it must be rather warm in India. Bob Dominey has at last had a postcard from Fred Coffin, who sent it from Stendal, a German prisoner of war camp. The latest news from all the fronts is excellent. Mr. Lloyd George has told us all to hold fast. You are doing more than that. You are getting forward. Carry your thoughts to 2018. 100 years hence, when probably many more people will travel on the Blandford Shaftesbury Road than did in 1918. That cross and those names will remind them of the 4 Years' World War, the result of which, by your efforts, justice, equity, and freedom were reassured to your descendants by the magnificent courage and self-sacrifice of those whose names are on the tablet, and of countless others from villages and towns in Great Britain and our sister states.